Alright, boys and girls, today we're going to be talking about real numbers and how we can organize them and into different categories so that we can kind of understand their properties. But before we do that, I'm going to offer a metaphor to you that we can use as we study the real numbers. So, what writing utensil do you guys use when we do math?
Number two
So,
pencil.
That's right. That's excellent. We use pencils, right? Pens. Oh, get that out of here. I can't stand pens in math. So we use pencils, right? And let's take a moment and organize our pencils. We're going to talk about writing utensils. And among pencils, the first thing that we mentioned is number 2 pencils. Right? Standardized testing pencil. We all use it. When I took my exams, I had like about 20 of them just in case during the middle of my exam I broke it in half, I don't know. Next, we have art pencils. Art pencils are what? Yeah, there's different types. There's HB, there's 3D, there's 4B, and number 2 pencils are actually part of art pencils, because art pencils are a collection of pencils that represent different shades of the color black, right? Next, we have color pencils. Everyone knows what color pencils are, and what I want you guys to start to notice is that number 2 pencils belong in art pencils, and art pencils are also a color, so they belong in color pencils. Finally, we have the rest, all pencils. And here, it includes everything that we've talked about already, as well as mechanical pencils, lead pencils, those clickers, ones with erasers on top, everything else. And then, we have something weird, something different. What is that? Pens. What? You can't erase? What? No, that's silly. That's something else. No. So as we can see, we've classified our 2 writing utensils with pencils and pens. And I want you guys to take a moment and think about how we can put that in this diagram. So what would go in this small box?
Number 2.
Number 2 pencil, that's right. It's the smallest category. And we mentioned how everything belongs in the following category. What would go in the next step? Art pencils. The next step up? Color. And then? All pencils. What do we have here?
Pens.
Pens. What is that's weird.
Where do erasable pens go?
In the garbage.
No talking. Let's bring this over to real numbers. We can organize our real numbers in the same way. The first category of real numbers is going to be natural numbers. Natural numbers, is another name for natural numbers are counting numbers. What do we count with? 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we include the number 0 when we count? No, we don't. So it's all the whole numbers except 0. The next category is whole. Whole numbers are basically natural numbers, including the number 0. So there's 1, 2, 3. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. I don't know why 0 is included there, because quite frankly the number 0 is not whole. But that being said, the next category is integers. Integers are whole numbers as well as the negative numbers. So we have -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and so on. The next category is rational numbers, which is a little bit difficult, but the key word in rational is the word ratio. Rational numbers are basically any number that can be represented as a ratio. So for example, if I have number 3, is that a rational number? Why is that a rational number?
3/1.
Exactly, you can write it as a ratio. What about the number 1/2? Is that a rational number?
Yes.
Of course, it's a ratio. What about the number 0.75?
Yeah.
3 out of 4.
Right, it's a rational number. What about the number 0.6666 bar?
Yes.
That is a rational number. And
2/3, right?
Exactly, it's 2/3. So in terms of decimals, the key thing to remember is that for decimals, the rational decimals are ones that are either terminating, this one here, or repeating. Okay? And then we have something else. We have our pens. What is that? We have irrational numbers. That's silly. That's something else. What is that? So irrational numbers is everything that the rational numbers are not. Basically, it's a number that you cannot write as a ratio. Can anyone give me an example of a number that we cannot write as a ratio? Pi?
0.
Yeah, pi. Does anybody? Can anyone give me first couple of decimals of pi?
3.1415.
There's always some nerd in the class that knows like 5 of the decimal points. So I only know 3.14. I don't care about the rest because I know that it's not important and I know it goes on forever. All right. So can we organize all of these in this same chart?
Yes.
All right. So what would go in the small box?
Rational.
Sorry,
Rash.
I heard rational.
Natural.
Natural numbers. Good. What goes in the next box? Whole numbers. Next box?
Integers?
Integers. Up here?
Rational numbers?
Rational numbers. And what's this? What's this?
Irrational.
Irrational. That's something else. And this comprises everything of what we call the real numbers. And I'm going to tell you that you give me any real number and I can put it in this category. And I will give someone an A if they can prove me wrong.
Infinity.
Infinity is not a number. But that's a little bit more about real analysis. We can talk about that later.
What about like the square root of 5?
Square root of 5. What do you guys think? Let's go from the bottom up.
How about
Can we write
square root of -5?
Square root of -5 is not a real number. I said real numbers.
Are there unreal
Do
numbers?
I get an A?
There are not real numbers, which we call imaginary numbers. Think about how we have pens and then we have markers. What is that? What? Your felt tips? What? No, that's not real. That's imaginary. It's what we call imaginary numbers. Any questions? Thank you.